I think most of what shapes us as leaders and what shapes our organizations often are our failures
Hmm.
and the times that we've set out to do something and it does not go according to plan, right? And we really have at that point when we come to these inflection points where things are not going well, we have a choice, right? I mean, we can either double down on the mistakes that we're making and really hurt ourselves and a lot of times the people around us, or we can learn from these experiences and we can really take that opportunity when things don't go well, to be able to reflect, improve, and then reshape, recalibrate where we're going. And I think early in my career, as we were really growing the company, before I was able to talk to people about and really cast vision to them about what they needed to be as leaders, I had to really do that for myself. I really had to step back and had to study, and I really went on a journey of really what leadership is and what is required to be someone who others will follow. We all have these different markers throughout our lives where we come into contact with either a really bad leadership experience where something so disaffects us that it can harm us as humans, right? We can become bitter, we can become resentful. There's a lot of things that negatively can happen, and then there's other cases where we come into contact with people who are just exceptional leaders. And I had come to a point where I realized I was focused on the fact that I was not the man I needed to be, and that I was going to need to go on a journey to understand what really the fundamental foundational concept of leadership are that would enable me to be able to build a company that would attract other leaders, develop other leaders, inspires others to become a part of what we were doing. And so as I started on this journey, I just started devouring all these leadership books. And initially, Travis, I was disappointed, I guess, right? Because I think
Hmm.
a lot of the bestsellers on leadership are these stories from a military general or a sports coach or a celebrity CEO, and they're not relatable. There are these cases where you're like, okay, I'm not going to probably be in a case where we need to storm the beaches of Normandy. I'm
Hmm.
not probably, I'll use a Canadian example. I'm probably not going to be competing for the Stanley Cup here, right? Or these other celebrity geared or oriented leadership examples. So what I initially kind of found disappointing, and I ultimately started talking to and just interviewing people that I really respected, and I started asking them, what shaped you as a leader? What were the important milestones in your journey, in your life, that helped you to become the person that got you to where you are today? And then I started asking them, what were the resources that mattered to you? And so at that point, I was able to pivot, really sort of understand what their framework was, how they looked at leadership, and then found some great resources. One of the great ones that has really shaped a lot of my philosophy is a book called The Leadership Challenge by Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner. And what an invaluable resource for developing your own leadership skills. And it really wasn't until I started to develop some of myself as a leader that I then was able to start thinking about how investing in others made sense.